Hey guys, this is Ryan the Geeky Veep. Got a little bit extra I want to show you here on Power BI dashboarding for credit unions, specifically for loan dashboards for credit unions. Right now I've got open the data set for the account descriptions. If you go back to my very first video, you can see how you can grab that. I want to pull in and create some kind of a DAX formula that shows the delinquent loans. So I was scrolling through this data set and I saw that account 41B has the total amount of delinquent loans and leases. And I think that's what we want. And that actually comes from FS220. The nice thing about that is this file is already loaded into our Power BI. So if it was any other file, we'd have to go out again and pull, like if it was FS220A, we'd have to pull all those files and put it into a folder. But we don't. So we can go back in to the original file and go ahead and pull in that 41B as well. We show you how that's done. We'll actually close out of this. Not now. Edit queries. And I want to go to the loan data file. And if you remember over here, we removed other columns. Let's click on this file here. This shows us the files that we removed. Canceled, that's the wrong step. We want this second step, removed other columns here. So let's click on that. And we want that 41B. Here it is. We'll select that one. And there we go. We rename the columns. I'll rename this one to $DQ. Insert a step, and we should be good to go. Okay, so let me just show you a couple of the measures that I have here. One is loan balance, sum, and then dollar of loans. I'm going to create one very similar. It'll be DQ balance using the sum function. So let's create that. DQ balance equals sum, and then we want the loan data, $DQ, tab over, close parentheses. We will format, make sure it's in the loan data table. That's fine. If you can make a mistake, you can put this in a different table. It's easy to go back and fix this, so don't worry too much about that. We hit OK. Let's put that into visualization real quick. DQ balance. We also want the cycle date. There we go. Now that gives us the dollar balance of the industry delinquency. That's okay, but what I'd rather see is that delinquency ratio. So we're going to create another DAX measure, DQ, and we'll call it ratio, equals. And this one we're going to use a divide formula. Tab over. What's the numerator? The numerator is that delinquency measure we just made. I'll use the square brackets. Normally I tell you type in the table, but since we know it's a measure, so that's our numerator, comma, and the denominator is our loan balance, right? Close parentheses. Now let's format that as a percentage. 2 decimal points, looks good. Change the table to loan data. Okay. So now we'll come back and we'll take the delinquency ratio. We will drag it to the value section and remove the balance. There you go. You can see as I hover over what the industry ratio balance was. So around here, starting in 2008, spiking in 2009 at 1.83, starting to come back down. Right now we're looking at 0.83. I think I like to see that with a label. Okay. So now that is the industry, right? Well, don't we want to also have our specific credit union on here? I think we do. So we'll do a new measure. My CU DQ ratio equals calculate, and then we want that DQ ratio, but we want it to be our credit union. So the credit union number shows up in both loan data and credit union branch information. So I'll just go straight with the loan data table. Loan data table where the CU number is equal to, I think we use 51, right? So I will close parentheses, make sure we format that. Okay. Now we're going to change this visualization to a line and cluster column chart. I notice we have a blank here for the line values. This is where we're going to pull in my credit union's delinquency. There, so now we can see what our credit union delinquency looks like compared to the industry. Problem is, remember last time, if I choose a state, what happens? Well, we want to change the filtering, sure, but my state is New York, so if I choose any other state on this map here, it wipes out my credit union. So we need to fix that in our measure. We'll go back to my DQ, and here, once again, comma, all, and then we want the credit union branch information state. So no matter what state we select, we want to remove that filter. That's what that all function is saying. Click OK, and there we go. It shows up. No matter what state we select, we have our credit union. So we'll select California. We still see it. The information behind the bars show California's delinquency ratio, but it always has our delinquency ratio as well. This is a great peer visualization and really see how does your credit union delinquency compare to credit unions in other states or even the industry. So if I wanted to go back to New York, let me actually expand this map a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. So hard to see New York from there. Okay, so if I go back into New York, I can look at just us and our surrounding credit unions. Look at us. We're down. This credit union is down to 56 basis points on delinquency, but the average delinquency for New York has spiked to 2.27. My guess is that there are a lot of credit unions in the New York area that have medallion loans that have they've defaulted on. So that could be a big reason for that. So notice that the trend is going down for a lot of the states, California, most of the states, but New York is one of those that has a large percentage of credit unions with medallion loans. Okay. I mean, that's my guess as to why that's happening. What else do we want to do here? Well, let's show you maybe we can do some forecasting. That'll be the last visualization we do. We want to have our credit union, and we'll do some forecasting to see where do we think loan balances are going to go. So for that, we want to use a line chart, and we're going to have my credit union loan balances, and we will do it based on the cycle date. Okay. So we want to continue on. Right now, we see at the end of 2016 where my credit union loan balances are. Actually, let me fix this. I changed that up a little bit. 51. Okay. That 1.9 billion in credit union loan balances. So what's that going to look like in 2017 and 2018? I don't know, but we can find out. So we come over here underneath visualizations. We have the fields, we have the formatting, and this last section here is analytics. Now, not every visualization will give you something over here, but it will for this particular visualization. We want to forecast. We're going to add, and since these periods are by year, if we choose 10 points, that'll give us 10 years. We can ignore last so many points. So if there was some anomalies the last few years, we could remove that if we wanted to. And what it's telling us is that in 10 years, by the year 2026, it expects us to be at 3.4, this credit union to be at $3.4 billion in loans. Well, the confidence interval says the lower bound is 2.3 million to 4.5 million. So that's not the tightest range. You can see the range here represented by the gray. So maybe we can say, we could tighten it down a little bit with the lower confidence interval. Anyways, that's kind of interesting. You could see, you could do some forecasting out here. All right, that's it for today. I want to show you those 2 extra visualizations. I showed you how to add additional data from your tables, such as the delinquency number, how to create the ratio using that divide formula in DAX, and also once again making sure that no matter what you selected, your credit union's data still shows up on that chart. Using that all function in DAX. A lot of other formulas that we could put together and show you, but I think this is it for us. Best of luck with your dashboarding. Please drop me a line or put some comments down below and tell me if you went through this playlist and you created your own dashboard, what kind of visualizations that you use, what kind of formulas you used, and I'd just like to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.